Moving is already stressful enough. The boxes, the planning, the costs, it can push anyone to their breaking point. But imagine being forced to move with barely any notice, only to discover someone else thinks they belong in your new home. This first story comes from Sarah, who found herself with only 4 weeks to find a new place when her landlord unexpectedly decided to sell. With time running dangerously short, Sarah applied for multiple properties sight unseen. The house she eventually got wasn't pretty. Peeling paint, outdated fixtures, but at least she had somewhere to go. After an exhausting day of moving, she crashed into bed, hoping things would look better after some rest. They didn't. When Sarah woke that evening and headed downstairs for food, she discovered a stranger standing motionless in her darkened living room, staring directly at her. "Who are you?" she managed to ask, heart pounding in her chest. The man, expression blank and unreadable in the shadows, simply turned and walked unhurriedly through her front door, as if he had every right to be there. Shaken but oddly not feeling threatened, Sarah locked the door and tried calling her landlord. No answer. Hours later, a knock came at her door. When she cautiously turned on the porch light and called out, the voice that answered claimed to be her landlord. But when Sarah cracked open the door, she realized something wasn't right. The man looked eerily similar to the intruder from earlier, but not quite the same, like a crude imitation. His smile was too wide, too forced as he tried to prevent her from closing the door. In a moment of clarity and terror, Sarah slammed her body against the door, bolting it shut as the handle rattled violently from outside. Minutes later, she spotted the same figure at her back door, this time with a hammer in hand. She made a desperate dash for her car, the man watching silently from the shadows as she fled. When police investigated, they found nothing. The real landlord appeared later, similar in appearance to the stranger, but definitely not the same person. Sarah never encountered the man again, but she also never renewed her lease. Some houses, it seems, come with occupants that aren't on the rental agreement. College roommates Jamie and Alex thought they'd found the perfect starter home. Small, affordable, close to campus, and with enough space to enjoy their newfound independence. The only odd feature was a padlocked shed in the backyard, unmentioned in the property listing. Neither cared much about it. They had no use for extra storage space anyway. Their first week was everything they'd hoped for: freedom, independence, the excitement of being on their own. Then came that Saturday evening when Jamie was alone, waiting for Alex to return from work. Through the sound of the television, Jamie heard what sounded like a heavy door shutting outside. When Alex returned, they investigated together. The shed appeared untouched, padlock still firmly in place. Later that night, while watching TV, Jamie caught a glimpse of someone, a dark figure standing perfectly still, watching them through the window. Before Alex could see him, the figure darted away, leaving only the sound of crunching leaves as evidence he'd been there at all. Hours later, Jamie woke to an ominous red glow flickering across the bedroom walls. Outside, the shed was completely engulfed in flames, the structure collapsing as the fire spread dangerously close to the house. After the fire department extinguished the blaze, little remained but ashes and a few old metal tools. The police investigated but found nothing conclusive. What was someone doing in that shed? Why burn it down? Jamie and Alex never discovered what secret the previous owners had left behind, locked away behind that padlock. Some questions are better left unanswered. They say that when something seems too good to be true, it usually is. Mark had spent months searching for his first home, somewhere to finally put down roots at 28. When a perfect two-story house suddenly dropped dramatically in price, falling right into his budget range, it felt like fate. The house was beautiful, secluded with trees all around, a spacious yard, and just a short drive from town. Mark thought he'd found his forever home. Within days, however, the noises began. At first, it was just subtle sounds from the basement. Things being dragged across the floor, soft thuds against the walls. Each time Mark investigated, he found nothing but empty space. The basement was bare except for the water heater and air conditioner. It's just an old house settling, he told himself repeatedly, trying to rationalize the increasingly frequent disturbances. But then one night, everything changed. Mark was jolted awake at 11 p.m. by a distinct wooden thud directly beneath his bedroom, followed by what was unmistakably footsteps moving across the basement floor. Gripping a baseball bat, he crept toward the basement door. Just as he reached for the handle, a violent crash came from outside the house, freezing him in place. The basement, when he finally gathered the courage to check, was empty as always. Yet something felt wrong. Something had changed. The next morning, Mark discovered the cover he'd installed on the basement window well was missing. Completely gone, with no trace of where it could have ended up. That was enough. The police found nothing suspicious, but Mark knew better. He installed bars on the window and a new cover, both securely fastened. After that, the noises stopped completely. 3 years later, Mark still lives in that house, but he can't shake the feeling that something or someone was trying to get in, or perhaps trying to get out.